It's time for oral questions, and I recognize the Leader of His Majesty's Loyal Opposition.
Good morning, Speaker. Our students are struggling. Underfunding of our education system is impacting our kids directly with oversized classrooms, with fewer in-school supports, and anxiety levels are at an all-time high. None of this is normal. Would the Premier explain how a measly $66 per student is going to address the massive problems their chronic underfunding has created?
And to reply, the Minister of Education.
Mr. Speaker, we are proud to increase investment for the coming school year by $693 million more for September. That is a 10% increase in funding, 10% increase in funding for school boards the last 4 years. When you look at the entire Ministry of Education budget, it is up 27% when compared to the peak of spending under Premier Kathleen Wynne. That is an investment in our publicly funded schools. Now, Madam Speaker, we just announced a commitment to hire 1,000 more teachers focused on literacy and math, 1,000 additional teachers focused on de-streaming. And I know that the members opposite will continue to oppose measures that incrementally make a difference in schools. They have an opportunity today to vote for our budget and our new plan to improve schools, to expect better from our school boards, and to demand that our education leads to student achievement and better outcomes in reading, writing and math. Vote for our budget, vote for our investments, vote for better in Ontario schools.
Supplementary question.
Speaker, the education funding that was announced yesterday doesn't even remotely keep pace with inflation, let alone address the 3 years of learning disruption that have been impacting our kids so deeply. So if they're not investing in our students and their future, what are they doing? They're micromanaging school boards, they're labeling community schools as real estate assets, and they're introducing new fees. That's what they're doing, Speaker. Back to the Premier. If he isn't going to invest in schools, will he at least not stick them with the bill for ministry responsibilities?
Minister of Education.
Madam Speaker, from healthcare to housing to education, the status quo defender here in the Leader of the Opposition, defending the status quo when we all know we can do better for our children, and they deserve better in Ontario schools. We introduced legislation that is premised on raising standards, increasing accountability, and enshrining the voice of parents in our education system. What about that is so offensive to the Leader of the Opposition? What about making sure that we have better outcomes tied to student achievement so we actually see higher outcomes related to reading, writing, and math? What is offensive about ensuring that we build schools faster, that we certify new educators quicker? What is offensive about ensuring that new teachers are better educated on math, on literacy, on mental health, and special education? It is opposition systematically to progress and to change. We will stand up for kids and drive this legislation forward.
The final supplementary.
Speaker, when is this government going to start taking responsibility? 5 years. 5 years. The status quo is their terrible record. It's the same old story that we've heard from this minister and this government for years now, and that's how out of touch they are. They're micromanaging municipalities. They're ideologically dismantling public health care. And now they're grabbing power from school boards. I don't know a parent or a teacher in this province who trusts this government to deliver quality education to our children.
Order. Inside, come to order.
I mean, just look at the state of education in this province right now.
Order.
They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. But we see it every day. Back to the Premier. His plan is going to force the layoffs of teachers and education workers across this province. Will he reverse course and invest in the supports that students need to thrive?
Please take their seats. Minister of Education to respond.
It is ironic, recognizing that in the last election, the New Democrats lost 300,000 votes for the people of Ontario. So when you want to talk about public confidence, we have a mandate to demand better for Ontario children. There are 83 progressive Conservatives, a historic achievement because the people of Ontario have confidence in our Premier and in our party to stand up for parents and to demand better from the system of education. We are increasing the hiring by 2,000 more frontline staff. We are refocusing our system of education on what matters most. Back to the basics. Back to ensuring young people have the fluency in the skills that will help to set them up for long-term success. Madam Speaker, Mr. Speaker, the member opposite speaks about mental health. In this budget, we've increased it by 500%, over $100 million, a significant increase to help children succeed. We're going to continue to drive reform and demand better for Ontario children.